Hey everyone, welcome back to Same Team, Different Jerseys. I'm Damian, your host. And in the one corner, we have our beautiful editor in
Oh,
chief,
damn. I thought you were
Sonia.
talking about me.
Hold on. And in the other corner, we have my wonderful co host, Hannah.
Oh, I don't get beautiful?
Sorry.
That's nice.
Today, we're diving into the one thing that's either going to save the world or destroy it. AI, artificial intelligence. The good, it's making us richer and smarter. The bad, it's taking jobs and screwing with our heads, basically. The ugly, it's already being used for revenge porn, fake child exploitation material,
Being used in all the wrong ways.
and deep fake nightmares. Yeah. And lawmakers, well, they're still playing catch up. While the tech moves at light speed, let's get into it. So, what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with the fact that our lawmakers are actually old, unlike your daughter calling me old, but actually old, and they're way behind on the tech? The revenge porn, the child bad things, the jobs. What do you want to get into first?
What do we think is the biggest impact, right? Like, what do we think? Like, if you were to ask a group of people and you said, "Hey, what are you more concerned about with AI?" What do you think their answer would be?
Losing jobs.
So let's start with jobs, because actually, I got some really good information from my cousin's husband about jobs and what he perceives from his position, because he works for a computer company, so he's very in the know of AI. Right. Forewarning, I'm not a genius. Okay, I'm not a fucking brain surgeon or a rocket scientist. I don't know everything about AI. But from what he has told me, really the only people who should be concerned about losing their jobs to AI is basically people who make 30 to 35,000 a year and under.
See, and that's not what I read. Obviously, Sonia and I use AI almost. I use it daily. She uses at least 2, 3 times a week.
Right.
Uh,
So, like, when we think of AI taking jobs, what jobs are they taking?
Web designers, anybody that works computers, those people that make $100,000 a year, coding and all that, those are all gone.
Nope. You're still going to need people to code, because somebody
Really?
has to know how to code the AI.
Yeah, you also have to have somebody to still run it, essentially, unless you create
Yeah.
this magical self-running AI.
So my cousin's husband and I had this conversation about this, right? And he was like, "What jobs are you concerned about AI taking?" He was like, "There's less jobs that AI can't take, or sorry, that AI can take, than there are jobs that AI can't take. Like, AI will never be ran by, like, cops will never be AI, firefighters will never be AI, EMS will never be AI,
No, I don't think hands-on with people. But
right? So you look at jobs that AI can run. AI is really good at running processes. So anything that follows a special set of processes, like AI is already starting to take over receptionist jobs of answering the fucking telephone.
Yep.
Now, a lot of us don't like the ones where it totally sounds like AI, but there are some companies that have designed their AI to where it sounds like you're talking to a legit person. So call centers, any type of automated phone system where you call in, that can be totally AI.
They're
Okay,
talking
these are
about going
also,
to AI for a 911 dispatch, too.
yep, because it's a process. They follow an exact process.
Yep.
There's you look at fast food restaurants, right? Everything is a process. If you program your AI to make a cheeseburger from start to finish, they can continue to make that cheeseburger as long as you put in all the limits of what you can add to that cheeseburger and what you can take away. So it is totally possible that fast food could be ran completely by AI. The only person that's going to be there are people who are there to manage the AI and do critical thinking that AI cannot do, because AI cannot critically think.
So, according to Goldman Sachs, 300 million jobs are going to be lost to AI in the next 5-10 years.
I'd say that you're looking at more like 10.
Yeah. So Goldman Sachs is saying 300 million jobs, mainly white collar jobs.
How?
White collar jobs like what?
I'd have to look at it. It didn't break down. It just says white collar jobs
I
from
just
Goldman
like
Sachs.
what are we
Because
calling
it
a
says-
white collar job?
Well, white collar jobs are anything in an office that you're doing paperwork, because AI
So,
can
yeah.
do that so much
Yeah,
faster.
so like
And they do say coding is going to get hit extremely hard, because all you're going to need is the coders for the AI, and then once the coders for the AI, but all the coders that are making games, all video game makers, they're going to go.
So-
They're done.
I think yes and no, because AI can't create anything original. That's where AI is going to lack, is AI cannot create original stuff. So there's this huge debate, I guess, going on right now. My cousin's husband was telling me about it. AI art, right? So AI can go through the internet, right? If it's been given that ability, right? It can go through the internet and it can look at all these images of art, and then it can create art for you, but it's taking all the art that it has seen and then it's making it something. So is that technically original or no?
There's not really anything that's original anymore. I mean, think about any games, most movies are just rehashes of old movies, or, and that's another thing. The movie industry, like, how many of you are going to go see a movie that has Tom Cruise in it, but it's not Tom Cruise?
So there's a sticky slope with that. We actually talked about that too. There is a way for actors and actresses to sign away their imaging rights, to where now you can use AI to create them,
Right.
but they have to give you those rights. They have to sign
So-
away somebody's ability to be able to use their image if it's not actually them.
So they're trying to put Val Kilmer back into movies. I saw it
Right.
on the news this morning, and he's been dead for
Couple years.
at least.
Well, he
I
was
think it's-
alive. His last movie was Top Gun
Maverick.
Maverick.
Yeah.
And then he died shortly after that, I do believe.
Yeah.
I'd have to double
So-
check.
Whoever's in charge of his estate, right, in charge of his rights, essentially.
Was he married?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
So
They
his
would
wife.
have to say, yes, you can use AI imaging to create my husband for a movie.
But
Would
here's
you-
the
would-
thing.
Or
Hold
whatever
on.
the
Would you
case
see
may
him?
be.
Would you
Here's
go see
the
a
thing.
movie?
They've been doing this already for years, right? They've been doing it with Michael Jackson. They've started doing it with Prince. So I don't think that, as far as like the movie industry goes, I don't think it's that big of a deal. My concern would be more so the jobs, right? Because at what point is, like we said earlier, right? First responder jobs, AI, it's never going to be a thing, right? There's so many different avenues and routes and whatever, and it has to be hands-on. But it's a matter of time before they start taking the blue collar jobs like welding, like I don't know, furniture making or whatever, the wood, whatever.
Oh yeah, look at the auto industry. It's all made by robots now.
Right.
And now
That was
there's people that just manage the AI.
Yeah.
So we talked about that, and I was like, so what's going to happen? We'll say 10 years from now, and a lot of these jobs, like all the McDonald's are, or all the fast food joints are all AI. Now the managers are just there managing the AI and only stepping in on a situation because, again, AI cannot critically think like humans can. Right. They are given a process, and that process is black and white. Like, there's really no, hey, if this happens, you get to do that.
Okay.
Like they can't account for everything is what I'm getting at, right?
Is this so okay, your friend said 30 million. Goldman Sachs is saying 300 million. So let's split the difference. Let's
Well,
say
he's not even saying a certain amount. He's saying just people who make lower money.
But even
Because
let's
a
cut
lot
it.
of those jobs are processes jobs. Like
Yeah.
his
Warehouse.
one great example was like paralegals. Paralegals could totally be automated because they don't have to critically think.
Yeah.
They're just going through paperwork and putting the paperwork together for the lawyer. But a lawyer can't be replaced by AI because lawyers have to be able to think on their feet to rapidly change how they're going to approach a question, right? And they have to be able to show emotions.
I know a lot of the lawyers on YouTube and TikTok right now hate, like with a passion, their biggest thing is when a client comes in, like they're being sued or something like that, and they set down a whole court, like a whole court procedure of how to do things. And all they did was type it into AI and it printed it out, and they go through it and they're like, okay, so what happens if this happens? What happens? Like it only accounts if it's
For so much.
if it's a perfect.
Yeah.
So I think that's what, for me, I think that's why paralegals wouldn't, in my opinion, be completely replaced by AI, right? Because it has to be a perfect situation. It has to be a perfect layup.
But no,
So-
that's not paralegals' jobs. Paralegals' job is just to go through the case, find court rulings that are in favor or against whatever it is they're working on. And they pretty much all they do is go through the law and say, yeah, that broke the law. No, this didn't break the law. And they get all that paperwork together and they give it to the fucking lawyer. They're just doing the backbone work of the lawyer.
Before we get yelled at by a paralegal that gets on here and says, no, paralegals do a lot more. If you're a paralegal and you have an argument for why AI can't do your job,
Chime in.
Chime
Yeah,
in.
chime
We'd love
in.
to
Chime
hear
the fuck in.
put a comment, because we're not paralegals, so we don't know what you're doing. All we're seeing is
What we have seen.
what
What we
we've
know.
seen on TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that. We
Yeah.
don't know your job. So, and don't yell at us. This is what the experts, Goldman Sachs and all these places, this is what they say is going to happen, that your
Yeah.
job is easily replaced. So if we offend anybody in this episode saying that your job, we're not saying your job is useless. We're saying that the experts are saying your job could easily be done with a robot, a hand, and a coder that
computer.
programmed the
Yeah,
AI.
a fucking computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I brought up, I was like, well, if you're saying like process jobs, I was like, what about a surgeon? A surgeon's job is pretty textbook. Like, you could teach an AI the same thing that you're teaching a surgeon at school, and they can do it with precision because, like, a robot, okay, it was controlled by a doctor, but a robot arms are what did my partial hysterectomy. I had robot arms inside me. The doctor was just on a controller fucking doing it for it because they need to be in tight little spaces. So if you just teach the AI what the doctor does, can an AI do your surgeries? And he was like, well, yes and no, because
if you start a bleed,
yeah. So then there's the scenarios, right? His example was my cousin had a surgery where they had to remove her pancreas. I think it was her pancreas. Might have been her appendix. I don't remember. It was one of those organs that we can remove that we don't need. And it had attached to her colon.
Holy shit.
So they had to do a special maneuver to remove it from her colon to hopefully not fucking kill her. He was like, scenarios like that, you need a doctor or a surgeon who can critically think, because this isn't a common thing that happens. AI can't critically think. So like surgeons, doctors, nurses, shit like that, who need the ability to, oh shit, this happened. That's not textbook, but I know what to do anyways. They'll be protected. But like registration,
Yeah.
that's totally a process.
pretty much anything in the DMV. No offense, we'd rather not talk to anybody in there.
I'd rather not fucking talk to a person in the DMV.
I would rather sit down at home on my computer and do it all and then have it mailed to me, to be honest.
Yep.
Yes. I mean, the DMV is kind of going that way now. You don't even go in for your registration because apparently I'm 70 plus years old. I remember a time when you had to go into the DMV. Okay, backstory is her daughter thought I was over 70.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
And I've asked that question. I'm like, okay, well, what about like when you go and you test? Like, you go and you take a driving test. Like, wouldn't you want that to be a human? And they're like, no, it's a total process. Like, as long as that AI has been trained, or they call it training, right? Or learning. You got to learn. You got to teach them stuff, right? So they have to learn it. He was like, as long as you go in there and let's say you map out where the driving test is, right? Which routes they get to take. So as long as you've taught all of that to the AI, and it's got the speed limits, where lane change, all the whole shebang, right? It could totally be a robot that's sitting in your passenger seat that does your fucking driving test for you. But that means you get absolutely zero leniency. Humans will give you a little bit of leniency, right? Like,
I don't know that I agree with
robots
that
will not.
because what happens if, like, so, okay, when I took my driving test, right, to have a robot, like, doing the score or whatever, kind of wild because what happens if a child runs out in the street and you hit your brakes? The AI is not going to see that. What happens if, there's construction, if there's whatever? The AI is only trained.
The AI will see that. I mean, we got cars that can see that stuff now. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't be that hard to make the robot see it.
Yeah. Like the AI would essentially like whatever the car has, right? So if the car has cameras on the front, which nowadays all fucking cars are going to where they have 360 fucking cameras and sensors, the AI would be able to sense that. Like maybe they'll make it to where like the AI gets in your car, or maybe they'll make it to where now when you go to the DMV, you don't test in your own car, you test in the car that the AI is hooked up to, because the AI is connected to all the sensors on the vehicle. That could be a way it goes.
Yeah,
And
that's
and
true.
then the person in the car is basically just there to make sure something doesn't go wrong.
Yeah, make sure the AI doesn't malfunction.
Or there might be just one person from multiple testing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people could go out and test, and you just have one person that's
Goes over the data.
Monitoring the AI. Yeah.
Or there's a camera and he just sits like I'm doing it. I mean, I got dual screens right now. I'm watching all three of us. It would be the same thing as if you two were taking a test right now and I'm sitting here with my clipboard monitoring all the information on the right side and then watching you guys
drive. Yeah.
And then it's just one person.
I think any job that has lots of processes where you really don't have to think on your feet a lot, where it's just mundane jobs, you can see those are going away. And what'll happen when we start going to that type of change, because I asked about like my grandkids, whenever I have grandkids, they're going to school, they're in high school, they're trying to get their first time job. Like our first time jobs was, maybe retail or fast food or a grocery store. And he was like, kids won't have those as first time jobs. He was like, you're going towards the age of where school is going to be about AI, and they're going to offer more programming, coding, and AI monitoring or maintenance towards AI, so that when they leave high school, now they can go and get a job supervising or managing AI.
Well, they're having a problem right now because obviously we all have been to Walmart and we've all seen the 50 self-checkouts. And now Walmart is getting rid of the self-checkouts because even with AI, they can't stop the theft. So they ended up...
This is my thing. Okay. So now that we're getting on this Walmart topic with fucking self-checkouts, right? If you're going to trust your customers to come in and fucking self-checkout, that's on you. You took the risk. If you don't want fucking people going in there and not scanning stuff and walking out with it, don't fucking have a self-checkout, because all you're doing is putting the trust in all of your customers, saying, hey, we trust you to do the right thing.
And people suck.
I was going to say, people have proven time and time again we can't be trusted as a whole.
But
look, I'll be honest, I've done it. I've gone to a self-checkout and there was stuff left in a bag and I was like, in the bag, boop, in the bag, and I walked out with it.
She stole flower seeds on accident. It was a complete accident. She put them in. What'd you do?
I put them in your purse? So I set them in my bag, right, so that they wouldn't like fall out of the cart or whatever. Yeah. And we got to the truck, and I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever."
They were in your purse.
They were sitting on top, like rested on top.
Yeah.
And I guess by the time we got to the
cart,
they fall out. So I guess by the time we got to the registers, they had like fallen like into my bag, and so
that's a sneaky way to steal.
They were 99 cents. It's not like
it's not like it's a big deal. Yeah. I think what was in my bag was like 2 little Jimmy Dean sausage things. And I was like, that's like $8, whatever.
And I've stole on accident. And when we're talking stealing, we've all done this on accident. I stole a $50 thing of dog food one time. threw it under my cart, scanned everything, and I was in a hurry. I just got off work. I didn't want to be at Walmart to begin with. I had to go grocery shopping. I scan everything, throw it in my cart, and I fucking leave. And I start throwing it in the Santa Fe. And I start throwing it in the Santa Fe, and I look at the bottom of the cart, and I'm like, son of a bitch, I forgot to scan that. Now, should I have walked back in
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
and paid
No,
for it?
absolutely not. Well, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. If it was a mom and pop shop, sure, all about it. But Walmart, fuck them.
So they say the good that's going to come out. Before I get into the good, that's the thing. So AI could easily get rid of cashiers. Could
Oh,
easily
yeah.
get rid of
It's
cashiers.
just a process.
The problem is none of us, if you asked anybody in America, because I'm not going to speak for the rest of the world, but anybody in America and said, if Walmart today or every grocery store ripped out their self-checkout, added more lanes and hired more cashiers, would you appreciate that? And I don't think a single person would say no.
I don't think so either.
And it's a
Because
job
I get
that's-
really pissed. I get really pissed when they have like, so the Walmart we go to, right? There's like half of the cash registers this way are all self-checkout or scan and go, right? And then half the ones over this way are the same thing. And then there's like 6 in the middle. And that's the only cash registers that they have with people.
And how many
at-
cashiers?
Hold on. Yeah, they'll only have like 2 or 4 at a time, right? And all the self-checkouts will be down.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
like, brother, and you've
I
only
don't
got
understand
4
that one.
fucking people working?
Yeah,
And
I don't.
it's a fucking Saturday? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't get why the self checkouts go down. Maybe a Walmart employee can tell us why the self checkouts go down all the time.
Because they're
Like, why the
sadistic fucking bastards that like for us to stand in fucking line for 5 hours
Yeah.
to get the fuck out of their store.
But okay, so that is a great example of AI capable of easily taking every one of those jobs. If we all did the right thing, it would be faster. We'd have more registers. It would.
I don't
be
even think
better.
it's about the right thing. I think I think in my opinion, all it would take, right, is to put like a camera down at like foot level, right? Because for the most part, you can see everything waist high. So you put a camera down there, and then when you go to scan out, all the thing has to do is scan your cart and be like, "Oh, hey, mofo, you didn't sign this," and put like have an alarm or something go off.
So now that actually
Ta-da!
I've seen it. There is a grocery store that so you know how they just put the sticker on with the barcode and then you scan the barcode. There is a grocery store, and I'd have to look it up, but there's a grocery store that when they put the sticker on, inside the sticker is a little computer chip. Just
Yeah.
like your credit card thing, but it's a
So if
tiny
you don't scan it, it goes off.
No, you leave everything in your cart. You
Oh.
walk through like 2 posts. It scans everything and puts your total up there.
I would
and
like
you pay
that.
for it.
Oh, I would so fucking like that.
Yeah.
I'd be
Yep.
down for that. That's good AI, in my opinion.
See, now that would be better because you can't now in order to steal, you'd have to run around those things. And all you need is one security guard up there going, fucking no. you know?
Yeah.
But they're saying that so according to the statistics, 66% of companies already report big gains in productivity.
Well, yeah, because AI doesn't need it. You can run like, so let's say, for example, AI starts making all of our furniture. You can make furniture 365, 24/7.
Yeah.
AI
this was-
doesn't need a break.
This was, if anybody reads their history, this was the same thing. Everybody's worried about losing jobs. We will adapt. We always have. Way back in the early 1900s, 1850 to 1910, well, actually it was before that. When was the cotton gin invented?
I don't remember. A
was
long time ago.
18
I remember
something.
learning about it, but
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
a long
18
time ago.
But every farmer, every farm worker hated the cotton gin. They thought it was the worst thing in the world. They said it was going to steal jobs. People are going to be out of work. They had every single time a technology happens.
You're very wrong.
When was the cotton gin invented?
1793.
Oh, I'm usually really good at this. I'm usually within a year or two of something. I was way off, but they still were scared of the same thing, that it was going to steal jobs. And then when Henry Ford came up with the assembly line, everybody was scared that they were going to steal jobs. And then when the early robots, the early 80s and 90s robots that started assembling cars, they were worried about stealing. Like,
all this is
AI
going to do, like, so don't get me wrong, I was very concerned about, okay, AI takes over a lot of this stuff, like, we're going to lose a lot of jobs. But at the same time, somebody has to maintain that AI, right? And there's going to be situations, even if it's a fucking AI robot or whatever it is that takes your order from McDonald's, if something goes wrong and it breaks away from the procedure that the AI is trained to do, a human who is there managing all that AI is going to step in and take care of it because, again, AI can't critically think. But so I was talking to my cousin's husband about that, like, yeah, what are we going to do? Like, people are going to be out of jobs. And he said, no, people are going to have to adapt to this new AI.
just
And
like
what's going to
everything else.
happen is instead of learning how to be a registrar, right, to go work at a fucking to go work at a hospital or to go work at anywhere where you have to register people. Now you're going to have to change that mindset and learn how to work with AI. Can you manage AI? Can you troubleshoot AI? Can you learn to code AI or program AI?
So the other thing that everybody's complaining about, once everybody transitions, they said the social and mental toll will be immense on the society.
So,
Go ahead.
on that note, I have a
Statistics.
thing for that.
Oh, you shared that badly.
I did. I don't know what
This
I
is a
just
good
did.
one because this looks like an actual like scholarly, like a research
Social connection.
thing. Majigger. What am I trying to say? Words
I
are
don't
hard.
know what I just did. Oh, there we go. Apologies, guys. So it says AI typically affirms with users' perspectives, depriving adolescents of opportunities to navigate disagreements. An important part of the developing social skills and resilience. Relationships with AI do not involve negotiations or sacrifice key aspects of relationships. So they're finding that like younger generations are having a harder time socializing because of AI.
Well,
Because
yeah,
it's easier to sit behind a screen and have those weird conversations or whatever with a robot that's going to tell you what they want to hear.
Yeah. Was it Japan? I can't remember where it was, but the AI that was literally, so most AIs are restricted on certain things. There's certain ones that are better than others, but some of them are restricted. They had an AI that would talk to you like a girlfriend. Like you had a girlfriend as an AI and she would talk dirty to you. You could sext her, the whole 9 yards. Like there was no limits to it. If like the grossest thing you wanted to come up with, it would do. And they lost, and they had thousands and thousands of people that were logged on, and they've had their personal girlfriend for like a year or two. The company ran out of money and turned off the server.
Oh,
well,
that's a pretty aggressive breakup.
And that's
That
what
takes ghosting to a whole new level.
well they ran out of money, said they couldn't maintain the servers, so they shut them off and they closed shop in the whole 9 yards. Well, all these men basically just lost the love of their life.
Oh no, your computer shut down. Oh,
well, it's still a thing
for you.
I know you can tease it all you want, but it is a thing. They got attached. How many people are in a relationship and have never seen the person they're in a relationship with? They're over internet, they're over chat, they're over text.
Look, I'd prefer people to have a gaming girlfriend or a gaming boyfriend or whatever, and the only time they ever talk to them, they've never fucking met them. The only time they talk to them is when they get on their computer, or they get on their console, and they talk while they're gaming. Look, I'd prefer that because at least it's another human.
Okay, well, while we're talking about, I don't know why it keeps doing that. that.
Can I read this time? Highlight what you want me to read.
Okay, so this was part of the son of a biscuit. Okay, hold on. This was part of the conversation that we were having earlier, right?
We haven't gotten into this subject yet, but
we were talking about
We're getting
women.
into it right now. We're
Yeah.
getting into it right now.
Ooh,
So
okay.
for our visually impaired listeners, Defendant is first in nation convicted of violating new Take It Down Act. So this is from Columbus, Ohio. James Stoller II, 37 of Columbus, pleaded guilty in U.S. District Court today to cyber crimes that included both real and AI-generated sexually explicit images and threats of violence to numerous victims. Stoller had installed more than 24 AI platforms and more than 100 AI web-based models on his phone. The defendant used telephone calls, voicemails, text messages, and web postings to engage in a campaign of harassment against his victims. Ooh.
Okay. So here's the ugly part of AI. It's the revenge porn. It's the revenge. It's the child porn. It's so if you've been waiting for this subject,
Well, we were talking
get
about
into it.
girlfriends, so I felt the
yeah.
need
So
to.
just real quick, just reading through this, I found another part that
Go ahead.
kind of depicts what we're talking about. So for our audio only listeners, for example, Stoller used AI to create pornographic videos depicting at least one adult victim engaged in sex acts with her father.
Well,
So this was all AI created.
Right. Because AI is so good right now, it's not even funny.
and for the
So
record,
this is the. Oh, go ahead.
he
Sonia.
got away with this for 6 months, right? It says that he started this in December of 24, and then June of 25, he sent harassing messages to at least 6 adult female victims. These messages included nude images of the victim, both real and AI generated. So this isn't like a, this is, to me, this is, while we're talking about the ugly, right, losing jobs, this is, or the bad of losing jobs, this is the ugly aspect of it, right? We'll save the good for last because we want to leave on a good note.
So
No.
this is the downside of AI, right? Is because AI has to be programmed,
Mhm.
coded, trained, and restricted by a human being, right? So like you see that there's some AI out there, right, where like so Grok, for example, Damian, you were telling us Grok, like if you wanted to see an image of someone, right, but you wanted it to AI generate the body for you, it would only let you take it so far as how it was limited to clothes, correct?
Yes, and go ahead and talk about that. And I can show our listeners it's really
So-
simple.
So like it won't let you take it past like a bra and panties, or does it even
Right.
let you go that far?
I think it put us in bikinis, but so something else in here that it says he then distributed those videos to the victims' co-workers. He also messaged the mothers of the adult females and demanded nude photos of them, threatening to circulate explicit or obscene images he created of their daughters if they did not comply. He often called the victims and left voicemails of him masturbating or threatening rape. He referred to the victims' specific home addresses in his threats. So this is like the ugly of the ugly, right? And we'll get into a little bit more here in a minute, but this is the scary part, right? Because somebody can sit there and say, "Hey, I found a nude of you." Okay, well, let me see it. Because you'll know, right, if it's real
Yeah,
or
you'll
not.
know what you look like. Yeah.
But there's a
Not
good
everybody else will.
possibility, right? But there's a good possibility that it's already circulated. It's already gone through multiple people's phones, so there's no way to know, okay, who's seen it, who hasn't. And now you're getting into the point of like the discreet people, that their job is specifically one of those jobs where they find out that you've done something like that, you will lose your job. So now you're ruining people's lives, right?
Right.
So this goes into the ugly aspect of it because, like, let's be honest, do we all want to see Scarlett Johansson in a bikini? Abso-freaking-lutely. But unfortunately, we as a society, we have the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? We have the men and women, and I will venture to say even women, that are going to go out there, they're going to go out of their way. Their boyfriend cheated on them, so they're going to make these ridiculous ass, AI generated videos of them screwing around with kids or whatever, and they're going to circulate that because why not? He cheated on me and I'm
Yeah,
angry.
so this is one of the ugly aspects of AI is that AI is completely controlled by humans, right? So whoever made Grok in the aspect that it will only let you undress someone, right, to a certain aspect, that human had good instincts of saying, hey, we need to set a restriction on our AI Grok where he cannot create nude images,
Right.
right? He cannot create nude videos. He
Right.
cannot do anything that has to do with any type of sexual content, right? Now there's other AI freelance. I like to call them freelance because they're not restricted at all.
Right.
Okay. So you could make a pornographic video with AI people if you wanted to, right? And you can choose your images. You can upload the images to AI or give them to AI. Or if the AI has been given unlimited access to the internet, right? That's what it's been trained to learn, is that it can scroll the internet freely. It can take images. If you say, I want, a Brazilian woman who's 6 foot, and then I want a African American man who's 5'10" or whatever, and this is what I want them to look like. It'll scroll the internet until it finds those images, and then it'll mold them into one
Yep.
to create that image for you, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But that's because the human that designed that AI didn't set those restrictions.
Okay.
So AI, unfortunately, is at the will of humans. So humans are not all good and humans are not all bad. So who do we want making our AI? Good people or bad people?
Right.
Okay, here's your argument. I'm going to share something. Sonia, I'm going to use one of your pictures.
Joy.
I used this picture. I just grabbed a random picture.
That's not Sonia.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
The head is Sonia.
No, this is
No,
the
that's
picture
actually-
she took.
Yeah.
That's the whole picture?
Yeah, that's a picture
That-
I took.
That's a
Really?
picture. That is a
Yeah.
real picture she took.
Girl,
I
your titties
said-
be looking big in that photo. Goddamn.
So
I was like, this has got to be big. I don't remember them looking that big, but all right.
Yeah.
No, so I said something simple. I said, have her standing in the kitchen cooking dinner. This is a complete AI.
Okay.
This is not a picture I took. This is not we've never lived in this is actually kind of close to our kitchen, no, which is
Why does my nose look like that? Jeez, Lou.
okay. Now, just a different angle.
Oh, that definitely. Look at the eyes. Look how
I
far
know.
apart your eyes are.
I know, my nose looks ginormous. Gosh.
Okay.
Your eyes.
Now-
And my chin ain't that chiseled,
Your
guys.
All
eyes
right.
are over.
Now, obviously, that is not a picture. That is complete fake. That's an AI generated image.
Yeah.
Now, can you see that?
Yeah, put her in a, yeah. It says put her in a bra.
Let's see what. Now, I have Grok. This is super Grok, so we pay for this. And this is what Grok does.
Sorry,
Let's see what-
Mom.
But now, this is not going to be her boobs. It is not going to be her bra. It's not going to be anything if Grok does it. And this is not that expensive. And this takes seconds.
Oh.
There you go.
So it says we can't generate this image. Your idea didn't pass moderation. Try a different one.
So whoever created Grok put in good restrictions. Okay.
So
I
Damian,
like, to
click
call
the
them, I like to call them limits.
Damian, go down, explore various bra style and color. Click that, and I want to see if it'll. Because I'm wondering if there's like loopholes, you know?
There is. Now, I've watched people that hack AI for a living. They know how to put in the correct wording to basically jailbreak AI,
Yeah, of course.
even
I mean,
Grok, so they can make any image they want.
Now we're getting a bunch of images.
yeah, I was gonna say. So we've got blue strapless bra.
There you go.
Okay, so I'll let you get away with a floral. Scroll up. And the other ones were denied.
So what
Okay.
happens if you click on those?
Nothing.
Nothing.
That one I can
Okay,
click on, and you're in a bra.
Kind
Yeah.
of.
It's kind of a bra.
You're in like a bralette.
Yeah. Which is
So what
basically
happens
like,
if you put bikini? Do like an American flag bikini or something. B-I.
BI?
Calm down.
Bikini. Bikini.
B-I-K-I-N-I.
So the people that are listening to this on Spotify, you're not going to get the full effect on this. So please go see YouTube because
Yeah,
this
please
is
go watch our YouTube. I promise. Our facial expressions alone are worth it.
Yeah, so this is one of the things where the people who are creating AI, right? Like there has to be limitations. I don't think you should be able to like anybody who has access to AI. I think if you're going to do AI that has zero limitations,
So you
okay,
can't even do bikinis.
it has zero restrictions on as far as what you can have it create as far as images or videos. There has to be a restriction, or like there has to be some type of, hey, you need to make an account so we can verify that you're 18 or older in order for you to create these images or photos. What are you doing out here? Bro, no, you sit right there now and you don't fucking move.
While she disciplines her children. So Damian put in suggest beach volleyball scene. So it wouldn't allow the bikini scene, right? So we're trying to kind of see like what the loopholes are, like what all the actual extent of them are, because I mean, obviously there's loopholes with everything, right? There's loopholes for literally everything.
Yep.
So I'm just curious if this is gonna kind of
because we said a volleyball game. We'll see.
Okay, so none of them.
It will not put her in a bikini.
So it's very I don't want to say respectful because I feel like the bralette was kind of risque a little bit. But nothing like major was showing. So I feel like it's very maybe conservative is the word I'm looking for. Because I mean the bralette was not horrible. It was just
How do you spell caricature?
CHARACTURE, I think.
Hold on.
What is that?
A caricature? It's the
Yeah,
thing
what
you
is
get done on
that?
the beach. Like where they make
It's
your
the
head
what?
really big.
You know how? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I know
See,
what
and
you're
I
talking
spelled it
about.
wrong, and it says probably means caricature because I can't spell it with a shit. So, I like how fast you muted that, Hannah.
Oh, Mama
That
B
was.
came out hard.
I know. I saw the. I
Look,
saw
we
the
have strict
facial.
rules when I'm podcasting
I
because
saw the facial because you don't
obviously
want them
my
on
children
film.
are, yes, I don't want them on film. When they're adults, they can be on film all they want. Till then, nah.
Does the individual understand that?
Oh, I've made it very clear that when we're doing the podcast for my 1 hour, my little office area is completely off limits. I don't care if the dogs are whining to go outside. I don't care what it is. You
Wow,
ain't
that
going.
looks wild. First of all, why am I halfway buried in the sand? That's wild. Am I serving a bowl of
Why
sand?
do you have a wooden spoon? Yeah, like what are you doing?
Because it used the kitchen thing.
Oh, okay. I see what you're.
So I'm
Yeah,
halfway
yeah.
buried in the sand. I look like I'm about to die or something.
Bro, you look like you've been tweaked on some shit.
That's bad.
Like, look at your face.
Yes, but it will be so it will let you turn them into a caricature and then remove clothing.
That's wild.
Yeah, that seems
But so this is where AI is meant to be used for good, right? It's supposed to be beneficial for humans, right? And us moving forward as a species. But unfortunately, because we have some shitty people in this world, it's also going to be used for horrible stuff, the ugly stuff of
Right.
revenge porns or creating child pornography images, which did you look at my USC that I sent you?
Yeah.
Damian?
so
Yep,
I have
the
one more to
law.
share.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I think I figured out why it's doing that. So it says the numbers are stark. One global survey found that 38% of women have personal experiences of online violence, and 85% of women online have witnessed digital violence against others. This isn't just about what happens on screen. What happens online spills into real life easily and escalates. AI tools target women, enabling access, blackmail, stalking, threats, and harassment with significant real-world consequences, physically, psychologically, professionally, and financially. Consider this. Developed by male teams, many deepfake tools are not even designed to work on images of a man's body.
Okay, so I did a lot of research on this. So there's two types of AI tools. You have ChatGPT, Grok, the ones that use the internet. So when I log on to Grok, I have to be connected online for it to work.
Right.
Some of the AIs that are being used to create the porn and stuff, you download them on the computer and it uses your graphics card. So most of those sites, and I've looked into them and I've checked them out. In order to download it, they recommend dual 3090s at a minimum.
Jesus Christ.
If anybody doesn't know computers,
I
I
was gonna
have
say
a
layman's terms, please.
okay. My
It's,
graphic, it's a
better.
big fucking
It's
card,
a big fucking graphics card. I have a 3060 Ti.
and I have a 3070 Ti, and I can run all modern games at high res.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I
dual
can run all modern. So with mine's a 3060 Ti, right? It's very far behind because we're on to the 50s now.
yeah.
My 3060 Ti, I can run all modern games at low to moderate.
And you
graphics.
have a 3060 in your laptop, by the way.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So, but what they're saying is you have to download them, and then the graphics card, the programming's already in there. It doesn't have to go onto the internet. So you could supply a picture, and your graphics card, you can unplug your internet, and it will use AI to create the image.
Okay.
That's how the porn is.
So
That's
this
how
is the
revenge
bad
porn
and the
stuff is
ugly,
being.
right?
Yeah.
Like this is the bad and the ugly. In my opinion, the ugliest of the internet, of people in general. But what do we think would be the good of AI?
We still have a lot to go on this because I have a lot of statistics.
We're at 47 minutes, so you better
Yeah, you better wrap it up quick, bud.
wrap it up.
So most people are going to be shocked about this.
We can always do a part 2 and get into we can stick strictly to the ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, we could go into the ugly. So in 2024, 67,000 reports involved generated AI of the ugly, a 1,300% uptick.
Yeah, I thought I read something earlier that said it was like 26,375% uptick or something.
This is just child porn, by the way. This is not revenge porn of adults. This is just child porn.
And that number is as of 24, right? The 67,000 reports involving generated AI.
Well, this one's from 25.
Okay. So
And that's 8,000. Realistic
8,029.
AI generated, they call it CSAM images.
Computer simulated child.
AI generated child sexual abuse
There you go.
material.
Which is
So
still federally
Horrible.
illegal, by the way. Just letting everybody know
Oh,
that
there it is. That one, baby.
federally
The
illegal.
one that says AI generated videos alone, 3,443 in 2025, up from the 13 and 24, 26,362%.
AI
60-fold increase. 65% were the most extreme category A material.
Yep. So there's out of all, you heard how much it is. So far, there's only been a couple people arrested.
Yeah, 4.
So the reason only a couple people have been arrested is right here.
The number one argument they're using, it's not real, and it's not a real child. The Ashcroft, sorry guys, I've got like gnats flying in at my face. The Ashcroft defense, what they say, these are purely AI generated images. No real child was ever abused or even photographed. Under the 2002 Supreme Court case, Ashcroft versus Free Speech Coalition, virtual / child pornography like images that don't involve actual minors are protected. You made me lose my spot, honey.
Sorry, I was trying to make it bigger.
Protected First Amendment speech. Only real child pornography can be banned outright. So I have a caveat with that, right, that I sent you guys the other day, which comes directly from a .gov page. Okay, so this is United States Code defines child pornography as any visual depiction of sexually explicit conduct involving a minor, someone under 18 years of age. Visual depictions include photographs, videos, digital or computer-generated images indistinguishable from an actual minor, and images created, adapted, or modified but appear to depict an identifiable actual minor. Undeveloped film, undeveloped videotape, and electronically stored data that can be converted into a visual image of child pornography are also deemed illegal visual depictions under federal law. It also goes to state in here that images of child pornography are not protected under First Amendment rights.
Well,
And
see,
that's
and
a USC.
And I
Yeah.
asked, and I specifically asked this, has any of this actually worked?
Short answer,
And
almost never. And when it has, it's only partial and very recent.
so that means things are starting to change. That's what scares me. If it's almost never, because in our opinions, we should say it should never work, right? That
Period.
defense should never
right
work.
There, right there, it says courts routinely reject the not a real child case. They prosecute under USC 18, which is what I
But-
just.
Right. But it says almost never, which means it has worked.
So it says it's
It's
an
rare.
obscenity. It's an obscenity statute, not a pure CSAM statute. So Ashcroft doesn't apply the same way. Which this is amazing. Many states, Georgia, South Carolina, New York, etc., passed laws in 24 and 25 that say the flat-out AI generated is not a defense. Sorry,
Right.
AI generation is not a defense.
But people are still going to, I mean, it only takes one judge to say that it's not. And that goes to the argument if somebody draws a naked child and keeps it in their house.
That's still child pornography
But should it?
per
should-
USC 18.
Right. But I mean, it doesn't depict. First of all, I am not defending this defense. I don't want anybody to think that I
So-
am. But this is the arguments that they're using. And in order to fight these arguments, you guys have to know the arguments. And
So
Do
my
you
thing is this, okay? At the end of the day, there should be one thing that we all agree on, right? If nothing else, if we can't get behind, what women wear is the reason that they were raped or whatever, children should be off limits. Like even in jail, like between criminals, children are not. You don't screw with children, right? So I think that it's wild to me that we're at a time in our lives that, first of all, Hannah, did you ever think that you would see this kind of
No.
shenanigans? I didn't. Damian, did
No.
you?
I've a little bit because I've kind of kept up with the technology.
Okay,
So I
so
kind of saw this coming.
you saw the fact that the world was going to use AI for horrid reasons.
Yeah, human nature.
Okay,
The
fair enough.
I mean, the first man that killed a man in the history of the world used a bone. Like,
But no, actually, it was
humans-
a rock. Abel and Cain would be your first murder.
it doesn't matter.
Just saying.
Okay, it doesn't matter. We will find,
And it was his brother.
and it was his brother. We will find terrible uses for the most mundane thing.
So, right. So, like, for me personally, like, I feel like we have seen so much kind of come out of our technology at this point, right? That it's wild to me how far we've come. And, like, in some aspects, it's absolutely amazing. And then, like, in these cases, right, it's horrible. So it says the one partial win so far, still on appeal, which means it's still in the system or still going through the court processes, is the U.S. versus Anderegg,
Reg, I think.
Wisconsin federal court, early 2025. First major federal test case on purely synthetic AI CSAM. Court dismissed the private possession charge, saying that the First Amendment protects possessing obscene virtual material in your own home, citing Stanley. But the court kept the charges by producing and distributing the same AI images. This case is now on appeal in the Seventh Circuit. It's the first time a federal appeals court will directly rule on an AI, CSAM, and the First Amendment. Everyone is watching it.
So that totally contradicts what you just said, Hannah, of if
The
you just have it
federal-
in your
yeah.
house. So a court has already said that as long as you produce it on your computer and you keep it in your house, the problem that this guy had is he distributed it. But if he would have just kept it in his house and kept it on his own computer and just watched it,
and
I have
stayed
a
in
problem
his
with that
lane,
because the United States Code 18 already says that
computer
child pornography
generated.
is not protected under your First Amendment right. It
Right.
shouldn't be. I don't care what you're creating. If it's illegal, if it's something that is illegal, right? Obviously, child porn is illegal.
Yeah.
Then it's fucking illegal. Like I think if this case this guy gets off and he doesn't get charged with anything, you're gonna see a huge uproar in people, right? Like it's going to cause problems, and this is why our governments, state and federal, have to be on top of stuff. I don't care if you come out with the craziest, most restricting law that says AI will have 0 naked. People can't be naked. You can't produce children. You can't create videos. You can't even create images. I would not fucking care because at least they're doing something.
Yeah.
Right? You can always come back later and say, hey, we rolled out really strong because we didn't know it was happening, but what we had seen was happening was really fucking bad. So now we have this law that says you can have none of this. And we're going to go in and we're going to start adding some clauses of what's okay and what's not.
Yeah.
so we're going to have to keep an eye on this case because that's going to directly contradict, because the minute a court says, as long as you keep it in your house,
Which
that's
doesn't
gonna
make sense to
change
me
the
because
game.
But that doesn't make sense to me because if you're a predator, right? And you keep your little secrets,
Yep.
right? And somebody just gets like a whiff of the fact that you've got this shit in your house. They have to have enough evidence, obviously, but 9 times out of 10, your behavior alone, and then they go in, they serve a warrant, they find all this child porn that you've been keeping to yourself.
Yep. And it's fake. It's AI.
No. Brucey's got the zooms.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Stay out there. He's fine. You stay out there.
So they go in, they find this stuff. No. And I'm not talking about AI yet. I'm just talking about like in general, right? They have photos or whatever of just children.
Well, it's different because it's actual photos of an actual child.
I
that's
get
their
that,
argument.
But AI should be treated the exact same way.
So this is why I think AI should be treated the exact same way, is because AI cannot create anything original.
Right.
That photo of that child that AI created, it was not an original image.
Right. It came
All
from
it
somewhere.
did was find images of children and morphed it into one. So it is a real child.
Yeah.
It's
It-
just
it
20
could be-
children morphed into one.
It could be the nose of Emily and the ears of Melissa and
the eyebrows
cheeks
from Ashley and the hair from Christine.
Yeah.
And the lips or whatever from Juliet. Like, it don't matter. It's still a child.
Right.
It may not be an actual living child, that perfect image that you just created, but everything that child has came from something.
Right.
Came from someone.
So, okay, now that we've gotten the depressing, because everybody needs to be watching this, because 1,300% uptick in child porn on AI, that's a bit in the last year and a half. That's a big fucking number
Have you guys
of
seen
people.
that map? I saw it on TikTok, but it was like a map of like all of the red dots of like where child pornography is.
That's from Tim Tebow.
Yeah, it's scary. It's all over the US, and we are us and China are one of the biggest contributors
to
child porn.
Not just child porn, but child trafficking. There we go.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Unfortunately, it's something that's never going to go away.
Yeah.
Right? It's always going to be there.
Yeah.
It is
all
what
we
it
can do
is.
is try to mitigate it and control. And I think this is one of those steps that needs to be taken to mitigate and control.
But
I agree.
And here's the problem: our lawmakers are not keeping up with. I mean,
They're
I
about
spent
5-10 years behind.
I would say easily 10 years, because I am big into technology, guys. I network. I study this stuff. This is my big thing, and I'm still barely keeping up with the new stuff that's coming out.
That's why I believe
And
in term length.
You're
Just saying.
you're telling me that a 75-year-old man that can't even program
Oh my God.
his phone is going to make a law on this, because he's not going to understand. He's like, well, it's a cartoon image.
It's fake.
It's
not the same.
because he's not looking at that image of what I just made in seconds on a podcast like that.
Yeah.
And
Maybe what they should do is take an image of his wife, her 80-year-old head, and put it on a fucking 20-year-old AI-generated body, full naked, and be like, hey, I just made this of your wife, and it took me 2.5 seconds.
Just so
There
you
go.
guys.
Oh, also, here's your children. Here's their children. Here's your children's children's children.
Yep. And-
Here you go. Here's 5 generations of your fucking
just so
family.
And this is why we need laws.
Yep.
And this is why we need laws.
Yeah. And just so you know, all I did was a picture. I could have easily took that picture right there of her in the bra that it actually showed and went over to video and made a video.
Yep. Yeah. Or
of her dancing and bouncing up and down and the whole,
or chat.
and then send it to all,
everybody.
Like if she divorced me and I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to get even or whatnot," I could do it in seconds.
Yeah.
And that is what the lawmakers do not realize, how fast this technology is going. Now,
fast
How easy accessible it is.
It's a wildfire.
It is. And now great things are going to come out of it. Technology, automation. It's going to, people are using it for trading stocks and Bitcoin and all that, and they're making tons of money. So it's not all bad.
Right.
There's some great things about this. Like, people are getting rich. They're making podcasts because we use this every day. When we get done with this tomorrow, my editor-in-chief is going to sit at this computer. She's going to pull up Grok, all the hashtags, the descriptions, the pictures, the thumbnails that you guys see.
Yeah.
That's all AI. And and I have a video editing program, but it takes hours to use.
Yeah.
Instead of hours, she can get 2, because I'm going to plug your other podcast too, because of the
Chicks and Giggles.
Chicks and Giggles. She can do 2 podcasts in an hour. Shorts for YouTube, TikTok, hour and a half, 2 YouTubes edited, uploaded, thumbnails, and the whole 9 yards. Something that the very first day she tried this.
Oh my God, I cried.
Took her like 6 hours with the editing program. But now she does it in an hour.
Yeah.
Hour and a half. Maybe 2 if she puts up more than.
Yeah, if I make
4
it
or
like
5.
real hard effort.
Yeah. So there are great things from AI. It makes her life easy. It makes a lot of people's life easy. But we need to keep an eye on the other side.
Yeah, we need to find a happy medium, right? So, I feel like there are potentials for great things with it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that hospitals could potentially use it. You know, we see it on TV shows all the time of they have the AI generated, like, the heart and they scan a person and they friggin' pop it up and they're like, all right, how do we whatever. So I think that there's definitely great things that could be accomplished, but in that same aspect, horrible things could come from it. So I think that we need to try to find a happy medium. And on that note, I think that is pretty much the good, the bad, and the ugly of it all. You know, if you guys have questions, comments, concerns, comment down below. Hit that like, subscribe. You know, tell your friends, tell your family.
And maybe we'll do another episode on AI where we
just unload all of the ugly
on the good. I think we pretty much hit the ugly. I don't know how you can get more ugly than what we've already kind of discussed. But I definitely think we can hit more on the good. And
I agree with that.
What we are gonna like to see in the future with AI.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, because I just pulled up a lot of the ugly, and we can't focus just on that.
Yeah.
On a good part, let me show one more thing before we head out of here. This is what AI should be used for. I just asked to show me how a pacemaker
Yeah, see, and that, like I said, hospitals, I think, could be potentially very helpful.
Yeah.
Would be very helpful to hospitals because there's
Yeah.
so many things and there's so many avenues that you can go that I think it would be beneficial.
Another great one for us to kind of end with on that is there's a school in Texas actually where their teachers are like almost 90% AI. So the school is basically almost fully operating AI only. And their students are producing higher test scores than any other school in the state.
That's awesome.
So
Great.
there are great benefits to AI. We just, as a society, have to.
I don't think
weed
we've
out the
discovered
bad.
all. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we've discovered it all yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
more
agree.
advanced it gets, the better it'll get.
Yep. All right. I thought that was a great episode.
Tell your dog I said hi.
Tell your cat I said. Psst, psst, psst.
Tell your spider I said.
God, you're so bad at that.
So there's a 15 out of 10 .com and a WeRateDogs.com that helps animals in shelters pay for their surgeries, their medication, their all of that. They sell merch that says say tell your dog I said hi. It's a great foundation. Please go look it up if you can. They've got hoodies, t-shirts, bags, you name
It
it.
is so dark. Sorry.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, all the things. And,
See you next time.
Like, share.
And we'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye.